Welcome to Face Forward Summit, ladies. Today we are here with Jo Lorei, who is my mentor. Hi, Mary Jo.
Hello, Lenga.
We met through a program that I took a couple of years ago, and part of that program was this amazing weekend-long workshop, and that workshop changed my life. It changed the way I view myself as a female and the whole femininity and what it takes to be a female and to live in that beautiful goddess-like, self. So
I
that's
just love it lit up when you even describe it. It does
I
not.
like I can't even go into details. That's why it's so like I can say that because I don't want to give it away because we don't talk about that. People have to go and experience that. But you guys just know it was amazing and it completely changed how I am being as a woman. And it's great. So Mary Jo, your background is slightly different than what you are doing today. Today you are accomplished facilitator, you are a master coach, you work with groups of women, you work with people one-on-one, you've been coaching people for over 20 years. And I want to know what happened prior to that. What is your original career, and what inspired you to then transition into serving people with your coaching and your guidance and helping them change lives?
It's funny when I think of even answering the question, for me to be able to say that I was in a career for 30 years that I'm no longer in is kind of startling. There's a part of me that doesn't believe I'm as old as I am. So when I hear I did something for 30 years and I'm already done with it, that's like, wait, what? My longest career was hairstyling. I actually spent 30 years behind the chair doing hairstyling. Yeah. And that actually turned out to be a really great transition because I've always known on some level I have a gift of listening that seemed to be rare. I would experience people feeling listened to or feeling seen when they were around me that I didn't realize was different until people kept pointing it out. And it's one of the things that really helped my hairstyling career, because that connection with people and that constant hunger that I could hear from men and women that said, God, I wish somebody could just see me for who I am. I really want to be loved for who I am. And then when I encountered transformational workshops as a student, I came in as a student, and it opened my whole world up, which was already a good world, but it just blew the doors off what was available to me through me. So because I was so passionate in my experience, I wanted to spread it far and wide, have as many people experience it as possible. Let's get it out there, get it out there, get it out there. And I went from volunteering to actually taking my first transformational facilitation program. Then I did multitudes of those. I had a really powerful mentor, and now that is what I do full time.
Yeah, and you do actually, so what do you do? Just ladies, so you know, Mary Jo helps someone who wants to get to the next level, and she helps them with getting there. Her job is basically to show you where your actions do not align with what you want, and she helps you get clarity, and with that clarity you can get what you want in life. Like, you can get anything you want. So it opens up this new world of possibilities that you didn't see before. So that's her job.
It is sometimes deceiving how simple it is, because the ego wants to go, well, it can't be that simple. But oftentimes my actions that I think are going to get me what I want don't actually align with the end result. So it ends up, and then that's really to mirror back for people the amazing gifts they already have. So one of the things I always say to people, when we work together, we're not going to find out if you've got gifts. We're going to find out what your gifts are, and then build your life from there.
Yeah, which then comes naturally, right? Because when we are aligned to who we really are with our gifts, our talents, our passions, our calling, then it's a smooth ride from there, right? But many times we just...
It's more effective. It's, less effort, higher results, basically.
Right. So let's talk about our audience. So our audience, most of you ladies are busy mamas, as I like to call you. You are professional women. You are women who have big goals, who have big dreams, who have big careers. Some of you are business owners. You have families. You are wives, mamas, right? So I want to know, because when we have so much to handle as women and we want to be excellent in every of those areas, right? It's just, yeah, we say we can have it all, but many times we don't see how we can have it all. And so we think like, oh, something's gotta give, right? Like we have to like let one thing go, or like be better in our career, but maybe we are not as, or we think we are not as good as moms, right? Or we want to be excellent moms, but then the career goes away. And so my question is, with that comes a lot of self-judgment, and there is times where we start to compare ourselves with others, and there is a lot of that competition that could hurt us. So I want to ask if you have any kind of recipe for our audience, how to handle the competition when it comes and when we start to, and how would it look, or would it be possible if there was no such thing, if we figured it out and if we could just live our lives happily?
If there was no such thing as the competition?
Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and speak directly into the audience, that if you are out there and you are performing in more than one area of your life, then congratulations that you're taking this time to invest in you, that you would be a part of. I want to have a broader scope than just to wear one hat in my life, that motherhood and career, or sex goddess, or life changer, or impactor, or global visionary, or whatever that is, like that you know that you have more than one facet to the beautiful diamond that is you. I celebrate that. I celebrate that for all of us. And as you speak about that, before I even talk into like competition between women and with other women, imagine what it feels like inside. The competition of the career woman and the mother. Having that internal competition, and then ending up feeling, because as you described it, I know what it feels like in my own skin, and I've sat down with enough women that I really empathize with what it feels like in other people's skins, is because then when I'm at work, part of me is compromised because it's thinking about where I'm not. And then I get home and part of me is thinking about where I'm not. And part of me is now in my relationship and thinking about where I'm not. So that competition for my own attention with me is a great place to even start. So that symbolism that I use about the facets of a diamond is a great place to remember you're still one whole gem with multiple facets, and not every facet can catch the light at the same time. And I'm actually just giving birth to this right here, right now with you. Like, this is so good.
Amazing. I know.
So imagine if you were to really look at like a diamond that sparkles. It's the reason jewelry stores have that incredible lighting, is because you can't light up all the facets at once. So to accept that there's going to be times when the facet one is lit over the other one, and to begin to set down that competition of the mother in me doesn't have to compete with the career. So the fact that I do want to go have a business lunch with other adults doesn't make me a bad mother. The fact that I want to take a weekend off to be with my kids doesn't make me a bad CEO. Like that competition, first and foremost, that I am one being with multiple facets, instead of I've got to constantly change lanes or change hats. And the other part of competition that you talked about, which I think more of us get to really kind of bring up and flush it out into the light, is that whole notion of having it all. People ask how before they ask what. How do I have it all? You wouldn't believe how many times, honey, I've asked women, well, what does all look like to you? When you say all, what do you mean? And they go, well, what do you mean? Like, if I'm not willing to take ownership of what all means to me, then I am trying to live up to some advertisers or some organizations or some social conditioning about what having it all means. And no wonder I'm not winning at this game. It's not my game. So are we willing to sit down and really get clear what having it all means to me? And once I'm clearer with that, now I can sit down and listen to what having it all means to you, because I don't need those two things to be the same. Does that make sense?
It does make total sense. Yeah. And so it almost sounds like if we were clear on what all is for us and be at peace that, you know, like you just said, that each facet doesn't get light at the same time. And we are just like, okay, now I'm, you know, and it's a balancing act almost, right? So it's like about finding that balance, because then if we do, and this is just what came up for me, if we do, then there is no comparison to other women even, because we are happy with what's going on here, right? So how do we do that? Like, what would be your take on that challenge women face when it comes to balance and balancing their life?
Yeah, again, that it takes time to really define what all means to me. Like, don't think you're going to know it right away, because you're going to have experiences out in life that might have you redesign, that might have you like recognize, that didn't look exactly like I thought it was going to look like, and all of that. And to be willing to continually visit that discovery of what does all mean to me right here, right now. And then when it comes to the balancing act, and this is from my mentor, so Krista Petty, Krista Petty Raymer, said so eloquently, if we were to get rid of balance like scales and recognize balance is more like an orchestra, right? Like, as soon as I say that, I watch your eyes light up. What just occurred to you when I said that?
And it's like what's the word for it? Like orchestra means like a symphony, like many different instruments, each playing their part, but at the same time they're creating this beautiful sound, this beautiful music, right? So it's like balance. It doesn't have to be either or. It's all of it. It's all of it.
And they contribute to each other. Yeah. And anybody that's ever gone to a symphony, the gong doesn't get played as much as the piano. But that doesn't mean that's out of balance. That's what balance looks like for that piece of music. Mm-hmm. So now, instead of balance being equal, balance is about harmony. Balance is about weaving together co-support. So this is where I like to open up with women. And this is a question to sit down with you. So if you don't do some of that self-exploration with yourself, if you don't sit down with your journal, if you don't spend a little bit of time listening to your own heart, yeah, you're going to be working harder than you need to. I'll be bold in that. So when I sit down and I think about what do I want to harmonize with, what does having it all mean to me, what's the kind of music I want to make, that's that time, that investment, that clarity, that's got to happen. Mm-hmm. Plain and simple, that's got to happen. And then to let down the equal balance, so that I don't feel like I've seen women actually try to measure out their calendars so that the hours add up. And it's not necessarily equal, but what would be fair? Because maybe for this particular chapter, maybe for this piece of music, this part of my life is the triangle. Mm. And this part is the first violin. So it needs a little bit more time, a little bit more of my attention, a little bit more. That doesn't make this one less important. It just means in order to create this harmonization, I got to recognize what parts need the time, need the attention, and set down. It's going to be equal, and instead choose what would be most supportive, most creative, most harmonizing.
Mm-hmm. Wow, beautiful, beautiful. And yeah, wow. I'm just thinking about something that I worked on quite a while ago, which was that exact thing. Like in my planner, I was color coding activities, and they were like divided into different categories. And like the idea was to like figure out how to fit all colors in that calendar. And yeah, it was just it was not based on, you know, like each color has to be equally presented in my calendar, but it was like seeing like where I need to put my attention.
That's so great though, because when I think about that, if I were to lay, you know, because I do that with my calendar too, you know, color coding so that I can kind of see what's what, and it also helps me prioritize just by color before I even read what the appointment is. Like I can see pretty quickly if something has been consistently on the lower end with time and attention. Like that's really valuable.
Yeah.
But same thing like orchestra. Now all of a sudden I'm looking at a painting. Like if I were to look at my Post-it notes, like all my colored Post-it notes, and I'm expecting even geometry versus I'm actually making like, you know, the white and blue and green in this painting aren't equal, but they together, look what they do. Like, yeah, okay. Is it in a combination that's pleasing to the life I want?
Yeah. Wow.
And that's that responsibility again. It's the life that I want. So if I keep listening to somebody else's wishes for me, if I don't choose for me, someone or something else will. So I will believe what this organization tells me, or I will believe what this magazine says, or I will believe what this female relative says, instead of I've listened to my own truth and chosen what's true for me and lived according to that.
Boom. Mic drop. This is great. This is great. And yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about the calendar and all that stuff later, and the planning and the journaling. But I want to switch a little bit right now, and I want to ask you a personal question. What does radiant beauty mean to you?
First thing that pops for me is I read in a much older text that in its pure form, feminine energy, its natural form is radiance. So when I think of radiant beauty, it's literally the glow from within coming to the surface and upward and outward. So it's that stained glass window of beauty. It doesn't matter how much I do out here, how beautiful, how well constructed, how whatever. If that light isn't shining from behind it, from within, it's not radiant beauty. And when we're tapped into that, there's nothing more breathtaking. Nothing more breathtaking. That's my definition of radiant beauty.
That is a great definition. We have not heard anyone in the series say it that way yet, but it is, again, it's beautiful. I love your analogies, by the way. It's like perfect.
I think that's the Irish in me. I love to tell pictures with words.
It's like all this visual that I get when you speak. It's great. So do you have any own personal favorite like self-care ritual that you like to do?
Well, I promised you I would tell the truth. So number one, steady orgasms.
Wow.
Okay. So for everything from your physiological health, your psychological health, your emotional health, orgasms, don't underestimate them, ladies. And if you have challenges orgasming, like don't make yourself wrong for that, but it really is. It's a part of my regime. Mm-hmm. It also comes under the umbrella rather than one particular thing. What I see most consistent that is my self-care regimen that has me running at my most effective is time connecting with me. And I want to be really clear about this. It's not time without others. Because a lot of times we do that. Like, I've given enough and I need some time away from the kids. I need some time away from my partner. I need time away from work. Time away from that doesn't necessarily equate to time with me. So I'm really intentional that my goal is daily, that there is some date with myself. And sometimes it's my workout, and sometimes it's a bubble bath, and sometimes it is anointing myself with oil. But it is paying attention and a date with me. So some kind of connection with myself is literally what self-care stems from for me. And then the actual activity or the function of it gets served with, because I'm really listening as I connect to me, what would best serve me. So yeah.
Becoming your best friend, right? And you love to spend time with her.
we treat it's the longest relationship we're going to be in.
Yeah.
It's the longest relationship we're going to be in. And we don't treat it like an I choose you every day, like we do when we listen to long-term relationships at work. That's the one thing everybody always says. Because I chose my partner every day is what made my relationship stay together and last for so long. But we forget to choose here on a regular basis. So I choose me in some way, shape, or form. Every day is my goal. And then I do the best I can, given what life is. So some days, I'll be honest, it's quality over quantity. But it's some way daily time with me.
That is a great tip. And we already spoke about it with another lady on the show. We said starting with 5 minutes. If you're not used to this, starting with 5 minutes a day, try that, and then make it longer and longer and longer until you end up with your favorite daily ritual. It could be like an hour a day, and you'll be surprised how quickly you find that time, because many people are.
Well, if you want to build in a practice, and that's true of meditation, that's true of yoga, that's like we go in all gangbusters and do a big, broad, intense gesture, and then it's not sustainable. So I saw this tree in Africa. I was there summer before last, and we did actually the Grace for Women workshop in Africa, which was amazing. Mm. And there's this tree that can come, it's a vine, excuse me, that comes in like threads like a hair, mm-hmm. and then gradually works its way into the tree and then starts to expand until it actually takes over the tree. That's how practice has to go in. Yeah. If I go in violently with some big gesture, so when I think about 5 minutes a day, that's that thread that goes in, and then I start to expand it. Now it's 6 minutes a day. Now it's 10 minutes a day. And then pretty soon it's like, man, what would I do without my hour a day?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And so I know that you have a special gift for our ladies today, and it's got something to do with exactly all that. It's got something to do with doing something every single day. I'm not going to say anything. You tell them. You tell them.
Oh my God. Can I just first say how delightful you are? You are just amazing. You are just such a bright light. You literally delight me.
Thank you.
My gift for you ladies is a organized practice for that self relationship. So it's a 30-day journal called a self-love affair. So basically what it is, it's a chance to have a date with yourself every day for 30 days. The prompts that I use, so you'll be spending time with the journal, is a chance to see who's there right now. So not who I was a week ago, not who I was a month ago, not who I'm going to be a year from now, but like really get to know who's there right here, right now. And some of the prompts, well, all of the prompts are designed to maybe set down those automatic lenses we use when we look at ourselves. So the judgments, the opinions, the what I normally look for when I look in the mirror kind of conversation, the prompts kind of come in another way and perhaps open up some space to really celebrate the self, fall in love with the self. So the gift is the 30-day journal, but the real gift is going to be falling in love with you.
And who doesn't want that? Oh my God. Thank you so much. This is beautiful. I can't wait to get started. And thank you for coming to our show and sharing these amazing points of views that you have on this subject. This is wonderful just to see how every single woman has something different to say about this thing that we all go through collectively, right? We all facing the same thing.
What we're talking about, because every woman is so unique. Why would we compete?
Yeah.
Why would I want to try and be a daffodil when I'm actually an azalea? That's just so hilarious when we really talk about it. So the fact that you're bringing so many different types of women together, both in your audience and your guests, like, yay, welcome to changing the conversations women are having about themselves and each other. You're doing an amazing job, honey.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, ladies, for being on our Face Forward Summit. And I know you are enjoying it. Let us know what you loved about today's conversation. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.